What's up, everyone? It is Jason Jani, and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I want to share with you a very simple lesson, and I want to support it with a very long story. And the story is about how I got connected to Isaac Friedman III, also known as Fat Man Scoop. And I want to tell you a story, and I want to tell you the journey of this kind of relationship that has spanned now a number of years. And I want to do it with a message for people looking to impact the people that are hiring you for events. And this message can be applied to DJs, to photographers, it doesn't matter what you do, it doesn't matter where you sit. It's a legitimate lesson that I think anyone could benefit from hearing, and it almost feels like it should be a no-brainer, but I know someone somewhere can benefit from this. So let me rewind time and tell you the story of how I got to know Fat Man Scoop. Now, about 14 or 15 years ago, I had the SCE event group kind of building, and it was the infancy kind of area or period of time for us at SCE. Back then, we used to be known as Sound Connection Entertainment, and we were a small LLC that started really from me finding a void in our area, our media area, people looking for entertainment that was a little bit different. I've always tried to set out to create things that were special, that kind of tied to the experiences that couples were looking for in our area, that kind of fell in line with the nightlife events and the parties that I was DJing in the clubs and all different stuff. And over time, we started to build the SCE event group. And when I say me, I mean there was a handful of people that worked with me and alongside me at that point in time. But I started this business what seems like a lifetime ago. And one of the people that were part of my early tribe at SCE was Nick Dietrich, and also Danny, Nick and Danny. Nick and Danny also were incredibly talented musicians and studio engineers. They went to Berklee College of Music, and Nick and Danny also can be referred to as the Disco Fries. That is their entity now, which most people know them. They are incredibly successful producers that have worked with a number of artists. They are ridiculously talented. They have so much music that they've shared that DJs have supported at parties and in the clubs, and they've worked with amazing artists, and they're just really good friends of mine still to this day. Long story short, the Disco Fries, as they were building their catalog and creating their brand, they did a lot of side projects as they were kind of finding their space in the remix and the artist zone that they play in. One of the people that they worked with was Fat Man Scoop. Now, over time, there was conversations that I had with Nick and even with Danny, like, I gotta introduce you to Scoop. And eventually that happened, and I was finally able to connect to the person that was the voice, that iconic voice in so much music that I had played for years, not only at parties, but in the clubs. And it's just someone I know of and I knew of for an extended period of time. And I looked at him as an icon. I mean, he is a legend in my eyes. And I got to meet this man, and I always had a great relationship with him. It's funny, when we first met, he's like, I've heard about you not just from Nick or from Danny, but I heard about you from people that I've run into in places like London and in Europe and in different places outside of the United States. And he's like, I know so many people, and who the hell is this Jason Jani guy? Anyway, fast forward, I think back to a lot of times that I've had conversations with Scoop over the years. We've been able to build a friendship that has now lasted well over a decade. I remember when my son, who is now 13 and a half, was born, Scoop was one of the first people that actually picked up the phone and called me. And I'll never forget that conversation, because I walked around my block 2 or 3 times, and Scoop shared some of his insight and wisdom of being a dad and just things that I think he's gone through in his life. And that's one thing about him, is he's always been forward with sharing information and being just a good person to talk to if you can get a conversation with him. He knows a lot about a lot of different things and a lot of random stuff, and just super cool. So fast forward, I think about all of the time that I've spent in Scoop space over the years, and one thing I could say about this man is he's always kind of shown up. I've done parties with him in places like Vegas. He's done a lot for me. I mean, when we had the SCE 10-year anniversary, I think that was now 4 or 5 years ago, he flew to do a pop-up appearance at the 10-year party that I had for our team and our VIP world. He flew up from Miami, did the set, went back to the airport and flew back to Miami. When we did DJC in Scottsdale the year after the pandemic, he flew from London to be part of that event because he knew it was important to me. And over the years, I've done things for him, and I've always tried to help him however I can or we can at SCE, whether it be with recording, whether it be with video projects, or just being there to help him share a new track that he's promoting. I mean, I've always kind of loosely kept in Scoop's space for an extended period of time. We've always been in touch, and from time to time, we'll go a period of time where we don't talk, and then I'll talk to him every day for a while. And we've done interviews here on this channel. If you haven't seen any of those, I want to invite you to check the link that I'm going to post here. I'm also going to post them at the end of this video so you can kind of check them out. But he's always been very forthcoming with information, which brings me to kind of the story that I want to share with you. So that's background. Scoop and I have known him for a long time. When Lauren and I were planning our wedding, I included Scoop on my guest list because I was very interested in having him attend the wedding, not perform, just be present at the wedding. When Scoop was on tour last with Ashanti and they were in Australia, he got hurt. And long story short, his injury was pretty significant. He's supposed to be off his feet for as long as 13 weeks. Sent him the invite. He called me and said, I know I got something from you, but my daughter lost it. Can you send me a copy of it? I didn't know that that was a lie. It was part of the setup here. Basically, he told me he couldn't be part of our wedding. He couldn't come because of his injury, and he had to get back on the road and eventually start working. So it was super important for him to get the rest he needed so that he was okay. I'm getting to this point, so just stick with me here. I think this all matters here. So long story short, the day of our wedding comes. We have all these iconic moments happen, and I have a number of videos I want to share with you guys here on the channel about things I've learned through the wedding process, going through it myself at this point in time, at this point in my career. I want to share with you some insight and some perspective on the other side of the conversation than what we typically do as providers of entertainment to people in the wedding space. That's all coming on deck here on the channel. Be on the lookout for that. But here it comes, the day of the wedding. We're in the middle of this kind of carefully curated moment that was to take off after dinner. Little did I know that Scoop came to the wedding unannounced. I mean, like, I didn't know. Jeff Scott Gould, who was my DJ, didn't know. The staff, our planner, nobody knew. He came on his own dime, traveled in, surprised us there, pulled up. Someone from the venue runs out to just check who this is or what they need. And he asked the person from the venue to go get the DJ. And he said, when you go up to the DJ booth, ask if their name is Jason Jani. If they say yes, go to someone else. And he said, when you find someone that's not Jason, tell them to come out here. I need to let them know that I'm here. So long story short, they go up to Jeff, and he's like, I don't know. Pushes him over to Bird, who was a guest at the wedding. Bird runs outside, sees it, Scoop. He's like, before you come in, I got to just let everyone know this is about to happen. Tells the planner, they all go outside. Scoop gives Bird a thumb drive. I know I sound like I'm rambling on here, but this all comes together. Bird runs in, gives Jeff the jump drive, gets the microphone, runs back in. Scoop basically waits to the perfect moment in time where the party lifts off. Everyone's raging. Everyone's going crazy. We did this really cool curated moment at the end of dinner that got everyone on the dance floor. Everyone starts going ballistic. The song ends. Jeff stops the mix and says something like, in true SCE fashion, we need to take an audible. We're about to go on an audible. We're making an audible happen. Jay, don't worry. And while he's saying this, all I hear is on the microphone, whoop, whoop, which is how Scoop like always warms up. If I've recorded him and done drops with him for a number of times, but when he warms up, he goes whoop, whoop, whoop. Like that's how he gets his place, make sure the volume's right. And I hear him do this, and all of a sudden, out of the right side of my vision, he pops up and comes on, and he does this really, really like cool introduction, and then he just crushes the party. We do like a 20-minute unannounced party set with Fat Man Scoop where literally everyone in the room was on the dance floor and lost in the moment. You have to understand, if you're a DJ or you're a service provider in the industry, in the event world, whether you're doing weddings or whatever, you have to understand what a blessing it is. And if you want to take your business, your brand, your future to the next level, you have to go over beyond for the people that you are working for. You have to be flexible. Jeff had no idea what was happening, and he understood what was about to happen. He switched directions, drop of the dime, and Scoop was able to do his thing. That was like the alley-oop to what happened. So the message, if you want to succeed in this industry, be willing to go over and beyond in any way that you can for the people that you're either working for or connected to. I think that's the message. Scoop created a moment that I will never ever forget. It's not about him being Fat Man Scoop. It's not about whatever. It's the fact that he went over and beyond for us to really make something special. So if you're watching this and you're a DJ, think about how you can take your services, the world that you sit in, and how can you go over and beyond for someone that you're working for to impact their day in a way that you can create something so spectacular that they can never forget. I think that's the thing that I want to leave you with here. We have the power to impact people, and not just for the moment, although that's really important, but forever. And as a DJ, as someone that works in the wedding industry, as someone that works in the event industry, you have powers that most people don't understand. I mean, a lot of DJs don't understand the power that they have and the impact that they can make on someone's not just experience for that day, but for their future. Never take an opportunity for granted. I think that's what it's all about. And do whatever you can to really use your talent, your gift, your time, the people that are next to you to create incredible moments in time for people, because you never know how that one little moment could impact them for the rest of their lives. Now, I want to take you back just a couple of days to when Scoop entered my wedding. I want to share with you what he said to my family, my friends, and us at my very own wedding, and I hope that you connect to it. If you enjoyed this video, I'd love to hear from you in the comments down below. Be sure to also smash the thumbs up button if you really connect to the message here. Every day is a blessing, especially when you work in the event world. I hope that you connect to that and just take your events to the next level by keeping this in mind. Thank you so much for watching.
Jason asked me to do this wedding. And I told him it was supposed to be my first day performing this week. And I said, listen, bro, I gotta go make money. I can't do this. Now, when I said that to him, I had already known I was gonna be here. I just didn't want to let you know. See, the thing is, when you have friends, you do anything you can for those friends.
Yes, sir!
When you love somebody, you do what you can for that person. So I'm here to say this. This man has shown me love in so many different ways, put money in my pocket multiple times. Even though I told him I wasn't going to be here, I took the day off. I don't even care about the money I'm going to make. Me being here with you and her is way more important than any dollar value.
Let's go!
So with that being said, I want everybody's hands in the air right now.
Let's go!
Hands up, hands up. Whatever I say, y'all gotta do. Whatever I say,
Y'all gotta do!
whatever I say,
Y'all gotta do!
whatever I say.
Y'all gotta do!
Be easy on me, because this is my first performance with that foot. I'm just coming back. Hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up. Everybody, wave your hands, 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 wave your hands. Let's go.
Let's go, Scoop!